portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
3 joint provisional liquidators have been appointed to oversee the affairs of Bahamas. They are, in a statement released late on Wednesday, the joint provisional liquidators are now responsible for all of the Bahamas companies.
The liquidators say this is a high-profile and extremely complex situation which impacts a wide range of stakeholders, especially the people of the Bahamas, and it is in everybody's interest and priority to begin their work in order to identify the best route forward for the development.
A few weeks ago, executives of the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union placed its members on Amber Alert due to some outstanding matters that have not yet been settled by management at the Melia Resort. Today, members from several unions staged a peaceful protest outside of the Cable Beach property, hoping to get management's attention and reach an amicable resolution. Busawu Secretary General Darren Woods.
Melia has now taken the position that they're no longer recognizing the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union as the bargaining agent. So which means to us that they've taken the place of the Minister of Labor, because he's the only one who could, or the Registrar of Trade Unions, who could deregister or decertify unions. We have a recognition agreement and a determination certificate for this property, and they've decided that they no longer have to even communicate with the union. They began making changes to the terms and conditions of the employees here at the resort. They've went so far as to even stop the union dues.
Wood says it appears as though management at the Melia Resort does not want anything to do with the union. In fact, he says efforts to sit and discuss issues affecting employees have not been successful.
Well, management has taken the position that they don't even have to talk to us. All efforts, we've even been as far as the Ministry of Labor, where our disputes were filed. We've had conciliation meetings, and their position is they want to meet us somewhere out in the street. It is difficult for us because at the same time our members are suffering because by the changes that they would have made, they're suffering financially, they're suffering emotionally. And in the Bahamas, we don't believe Bahamians in this day and age are supposed to be suffering in any which form or shape.
Director of Labor Robert Farquharson told our news team today that management at the Melia Resort has confirmed that they still recognize the hotel as the sole bargaining agent for a limited dispute as outlined in Section 41 of the Industrial Relations Act. Mr. Farquharson says the matter regarding the collection of union dues expired in an agreement, and he says Justice Roy Jones said in his ruling because it came to an end, the hotel does not have to collect it. But Farquharson says executives at Busawu say this is wrong and are now appealing the ruling.
Yesterday we told you about Paul Miller, a radio host on the Bahamas Bible-based network. Well, Miller faced expulsion from the Centerville Seventh-day Adventist Church. Our Jad Higgs attended the meeting and tells us the outcome.
Wash all my sins away.
Those are supporters of Bible-based network radio host Paul Miller, who stood on the outskirts of the Centerville Seventh-day Adventist Church, singing and praying in protest as the man who they call their radio pastor sat inside awaiting his fate as a member of that church.
He's my motivator, my encourager. In the night time, I just sit down and I listen to him. And a lot of times what he says really encourage me. And then I love and the times what he's be talking about. I know this to be the truth. It is the truth.
The protest comes after Miller apparently refused to be governed by the church's rules, especially during his radio broadcasts. He's also been accused of bashing church leaders and not following its principles. Not to confuse his personal views with that of the church, Miller was asked to read a disclaimer on his station as the church reportedly received many calls regarding his shows. Now, during the heated meeting, church leaders, members, and Miller addressed the matter. The church laid out the grounds for coming to its decision and even played clips of Miller's bashing. While some members stood up for him, others told him that he was wrong. Miller also got the opportunity to speak, asking what he had done wrong. Church leaders explained that rules are to be adhered to and members must abide. In the end, the Centerville members sided against Miller.
First of all, the evidence that they produced against me last night, that was first given to me last night. They never give me the evidence that they used to turn the church against me, more or less I should say. So what I did was, and after they did their presentation was for like at least 2 hours and a half, I should say. And when I got up to defend myself, I had 10 minutes.
Responding, President of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Pastor Paul SCAVELLA, expressed concern, saying the matter is being dealt with internally. However, he did say we are all entitled to our personal views and opinions and responsibility to take care of ourselves, but we must be obedient to the laws of the church. Additionally, he says the SDA Church has a reputation of sound biblical teachings, and we are governed by the rules and regulations based on the Word. Meantime, Miller says he is not deterred, and he will continue to spread the word. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Jared Higgs.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jumanita Swain. The Bank of the Bahamas is expanding its merchant services platform to capture global markets. This as it recognizes the importance of cross-border trade. The bank's network now accepts China Union Pay cards, the official cards of the domestic bank card organization of the People's Republic of China. Merchant Services Manager Leonardo Thompson said with the country expanding Asian investments, which have a direct impact on the tourism product and other local industries, it's important to equip clients to take advantage of the additional economic opportunities. In other business news, there's a new slate of officers at the Bahamas Institute of Chartered Accountants, or BICA. Re-elected President Darnell Osborne made the announcement. The new council members will serve during the implementation of the new BICA Act 2015, which comes into effect on October 1st. The Act's draft regulations were circulated this week for consultation. Osborne said the body is excited and looks forward to the year ahead as it transitions into operating under a new act and regulations. And in international business news, 12 major banks have reached a $1.8 billion settlement to resolve investor claims that they conspired to fix prices and restrain competition in the roughly $16 trillion market for credit default swaps. Reuters is attributing that information to a lawyer for the investors. The settlement in principle was disclosed at a hearing before U.S. District Judge Denise Cote in Manhattan. Daniel Brockett, the lawyer for the investors, said Cote gave both sides 2 weeks to iron out details before submitting a settlement for her preliminary approval. That was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jumanita Swain.
The multi-million-dollar automation system upgrade underway at the Road Traffic Department is said to be progressing well. In fact, officials instrumental in its implementation process are engaged in a 2-day seminar on the way forward. Carla Palmer provides this update.
At a cost of $8.3 million, control of the Road Traffic Department, Ross Smith, has high expectations that once completed, the new automation system now being installed will meet its objectives, including significantly reducing the wait time for motor vehicle and driver's licensing.
The process should be shorter, okay? It'd be much shorter than it is. For example, once you have registered for your driver's license the first time, you don't have to come into road traffic and make your presence felt or feel uncomfortable coming there, or because you don't have the time to do it. You can do it from home. You can order your driver's license from home, pay on the computer, and just come and pick it up. So it's a very entailed process. It's not a process that could just happen overnight. It has to be done properly. I am not one of those who are going to give you something at the end of the day that works for 2 days and then breaks down the other day. We will do it well so that you do it once rather than do it twice, 3 times, and that's why we are where we are today.
A New Zealand-based company has secured the job, and as the system is implemented, training will be done simultaneously, like the one now underway for managers of the department. According to Smith, they are at the scoping level right now.
We have scoped the driver's license part, and we are ready to we have agreed in principle to the business requirements. We are now looking at the technical specs, and we should be complete that by Monday or Tuesday of this week, and then sign off on that. Once those are signed off, then they will begin the building of the driver's license aspect. On the 15th, we start the scoping for the vehicular registration process. That should take us about a few months. And once we are finished with the scoping and the agreement of that aspect, then we would be able to begin to build.
As for vehicle registration, Smith says this will remain the same, as vehicles will have to be visually inspected.
From the vehicular inspection to the cashier, instead of having that in-between step, you just have 2 steps. Inspection, cashier, complete.
The automation process is expected to be completed and fully operational by October 2016. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
The College of the Bahamas held its 2015 Career Symposium for freshmen and those undecided on a career path yesterday. Scores of students filled the Harry Seymour Library to listen to the presentations from leaders in the business, tourism, and technology sectors. The symposium was called Create Your Career, Determine Your Destiny. Jimenita Swain tells us most students found the information useful.
More than 100 students, mostly freshmen, eagerly listened to presenters during the 2015 Career Symposium. The focus, Create Your Destiny, Determine Your Career. The Counseling and Health Services Department hosted the event, which was also coordinated by the Job Placement Advisory Committee. There was standing room only in the Harry Seymour Library's auditorium Thursday as students learned about the mini careers. Counselor Norma Turnquest said the focus was directed at broadening students' career options.
We were looking at the incoming students, mostly freshmen, because we know when they come in, for the most part, some of the students are undecided about their major. Even those who think they want to do certain things, after a while they change. So we wanted to offer at the very beginning in the fall semester opportunities to start exploring, to start doing some self-assessments in the classroom, and then coming out and now looking at options.
Presenters included Director of Tourism Joy Gibralou, Deloitte & Touche Managing Partner Raymond Winder, and Field to Fork owner Dr. Selima Campbell-Hauber.
I think one of the things that we all stressed upon, whether it was accounting, whether it was agriculture, whether it was science, whether it was tourism, that is not the be-all and the end-all within that profession.
Before they select a career, it's very important that they understand and have a compassion for what they want to do. And not select something merely on the fact that they think they're going to be making a lot of money.
It was a pleasure of mine and to come here and hopefully inspire some students into the field of agriculture, which is not one of the more common fields that Bahamian students aspire to.
Students at the presentations were timely.
It helped me to realize what's really important, especially the part about building a foundation to further your career, because I found that really important.
I think the presentations today really showed me that even though I'm studying accounting, I'm not confined to that there are many other options available, even though I'm focusing on this one thing.
Especially I'm just starting as COB. I think now I may actually switch my major.
COB senior Garth Jackson, who is pursuing medicine, said he struggled with deciding whether he was pursuing his passion.
Those professionals said that we should not follow money but follow passion. Is a very inspiring thing for me as I go on towards finding my place in the world.
The students said overall that they were happy to be exposed to so many professionals that have helped to guide their future career decisions. Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Is perhaps the most visible symbol of humanitarian aid. The Red Cross, symbolized by the same, has branches worldwide. Tonight, the work of the branch in Matthewtown, Inagua, and the partner who helps them to help those who need it most. Here's tonight's BTC Island Connection.
It doesn't get more peaceful than this for the flamingos or intrigued intruders like me. But Inagua's location, straddling the southern shore, makes it a favorable stop for migrants to whom Doris Pyfrom has often lent a humanitarian helping hand.
Well, once they get on land, they would take them to the police station. And they would call the Red Cross. We'd find clothes for them. We have a number of persons in the Red Cross who would assist us with cooking the food and feeding them. We make sure they have supplies like sanitary stuff.
Pyfrom is shelter manager for the Red Cross in Inagua. It's a labor of love assisted by BTC.
BTC assists in the work first. Every year they assist us. We haven't had a year that they didn't assist us. Not yet. I've been here for 6 years with the Red Cross, but not a year that they didn't assist us.
Communication is a big part of the equation, especially in times of storm. And having options, as Pyfrom points out, has been key.
Product-wise, we use phone cards, cell phones. So the donations with BTC is kind of okay because the cell system is good. Well, landline, with weather, especially during the hurricane season, the weather lines are not, you would have lines that pop down and all that stuff, but cell phone is wonderful.
So whether in times of trouble or the more frequent peaceful times, Pyfrom has this admonition for BTC.
So keep up the good work.
Keishla Adderley for the BTC Island Connection.